Image copyright Getty Images. Image caption: The outer bands of Irma have already reached Miami, Florida's state governor has told residents who were ordered to leave their homes to go to shelters and avoid the roads as Hurricane Irma approaches. Rick Scott said it was now too late to drive away from the danger areas. After devastating several Caribbean islands, Irma is lashing Cuba with strong winds and a heavy rain, and is due to reach Florida on Sunday. Some 6.3 million people, more than 25% of the U.S. state's population, have been ordered to evacuate. The hurricane made landfall on the Sabanacamagui archipelago, in Cuba's northeast, late on Friday as a Category 5 storm but has now weakened to a Category 3. After moving slowly along the northern Cuban coast, it is now heading out to sea towards Florida. Irma is expected to strengthen once it moves away from Cuba, and will remain a powerful hurricane as it approaches Florida, the National Hurricane Center says in its latest advisory at 0000 GMT. It says Irma has maximum sustained winds of 120 miles per hour, 193 kilometers per hour. It was the first Category 5 hurricane to hit Cuba in more than 80 years, and it is expected to strengthen again before reaching Florida. At least 24 people are so far known to have died as Hurricane Irma progressed across the Caribbean throughout the week. What is happening in Florida? Irma is expected to hit the coast at around lunchtime on Sunday, but the outer bands are already affecting the south of the state, and central Miami is being lashed by heavy rain. The Florida Keys, a chain of small islands to the south, have suffered some minor damage and are expected to bear the brunt of the storm on Sunday morning. The head of emergencies agency FEMA, Brock Long, told CNN there were no safe areas within the Keys. "You put your life in your own hands by not evacuating," he added. "If you're in an evacuation zone, you've got to get to a shelter. Need to get to a shelter. There's not many hours left," Gov. Scott warned residents. "The winds are coming. There is not gonna be a lot of time now to be able to drive very far." Thousands of people on the mainland are currently without electricity, energy provider Florida Power and Light reported. The western Gulf Coast is expected to be worst affected, with cities such as Tampa and St. Petersburg in the path of the storm. The Tampa Bay area, with a population of about 3 million, has not been hit by a major hurricane since 1921. Image caption: Shelters are filling up quickly and people are queuing to get inside. Media playback is unsupported on your device. Media caption: Watch the Floridians who want leave, and there are fears that storm surges combined with high tide on Monday could overwhelm some low-lying areas. Gov. Scott said that storm surges in coastal areas could be as high as 15 feet (4.6 meters), adding that people cannot survive this. Some 50,000 people have gone to shelters throughout the state, the governor said. Media reports say shelters in some areas have been filling up quickly and some people have been turned away. Miami City and Broward County have imposed curfews to help clear the roads of traffic. Media playback is unsupported on your device. Media caption: Watch hurricane hunters fly over eye of storm to help forecasters. What do we know about the situation in Cuba? Cuban officials have reported significant damage, without giving further details, but said there were no confirmed casualties yet, AFP news agency reported. However, if the devastation seen elsewhere in the Caribbean is anything to go by, many Cubans fear the worst, the BBC's Will Grant in Havana reports. Image caption: Waves crashed over Havana's seawall as Irma approached. The State Weather Service has forecast waves up to 9 meters high in some coastal areas. There have been reports of huge waves breaking over sea walls, particularly in the fishing village of Cayubarian. Power lines have been brought down in several parts of the central province of Camagüey, and transport links to at least one of the outlying islands have been cut off. Media playback is unsupported on your device. Media caption: Watch footage shows the central province of Villa Clara battered by wind and rain. Thousands of people have been evacuated, but many others stayed to ride out the storm. Irma continued along Cuba's northern coast, as the government extended its alert to more provinces including Havana, where waves are crashing over the capital seawall. Which other areas have already been hit? Media playback is unsupported on your device. Media caption: Rose Brooks, who survived the storm that decimated Barbuda, describes the chaos. St. Martin and St. Barthélemy. 6 out of 10 homes on St. Martin, an island shared between France and the Netherlands, now uninhabitable, French officials say. They said 9 people had died and 7 were missing in the French territories, while 2 are known to have died in Dutch St. Martin. Turks and Caicos Islands. Widespread damage, although extent unclear. Barbuda, the small island, is said to be barely habitable, with 95% of the buildings damaged. Antigua and Barbuda Prime Minister Gaston Brown estimates reconstruction will cost $100 million, £80 million. One death has been confirmed. Anguilla extensive damage with one person confirmed dead. Puerto Rico more than 6,000 residents of the U.S. territory are in shelters and many more without power. At least 3 people have died. British Virgin Islands widespread damage reported, and 5 dead. U.S. Virgin Islands damage to infrastructure was said to be widespread, with 4 deaths confirmed. Haiti and the Dominican Republic both battered by the storm, but neither had as much damage as initially feared. What about hurricanes Jose and Katia? Another storm, Jose, further out in the Atlantic behind Irma, is now a Category 4 hurricane, with winds of up to 233 km per hour, 145 miles per hour. It is following a similar path to Irma and already hampering relief efforts in some of the worst affected areas. Residents of Barbuda, where 95% of buildings have been destroyed by Irma, left the island as Jose approached, but it is no longer expected to hit. However, hurricane warnings are in place for St. Martin and St. Barthélemy, both also hit by Irma. Hurricane Katia, in the Gulf of Mexico, a Category 1 storm with winds of up to 75 miles per hour, made landfall on the Mexican Gulf Coast in the state of Veracruz late on Friday. It has now weakened to a tropical depression. Are you in the region? Are you a holidaymaker unable to get a flight home, or a resident who has been preparing for Hurricane Irma? If it is safe for you to do so, share your experiences by emailing haveyoursay@bbc.co.uk. Please include a contact number if you are willing to speak to a BBC journalist. You can also contact us in the following ways: WhatsApp 447555173285, tweet at BBC_haveyoursay, send picture video to your pics at bbc.co.uk, upload your pictures video here, send an SMS or MMS to 61124 44 7624 800 100.